Hello, and welcome to the Guiné-Bissau channel, made for those who want to come back to Guinea-Bissau. My name is Diana Gomez, and I am the founder of Guiné-Bissau agency, which helps the diaspora to reconnect with Guinea-Bissau. The best, the worst, you'll know everything. Welcome home. Si vous souhaitez avoir la version en français, allez dans la playlist dédiée sur la chaîne. This first video will be a bit long since I will first clarify a few important points before starting the actual lesson. Let's go. Creole is not an officially codified written language, which means that my way of spelling or even pronouncing words will not be the same as your neighbor in Bissau. Two quick examples. To say people or persons, some will write and pronounce gintis like me with a G. Others say and write gintis with a D and J. The K sound written with a C or a K is also subject to discussion. And there will be a lot of little details like that that I decided arbitrarily in my classes. To support me in this work, here are my references. The book Creole for Foreigners by Daniela Gelso is written in Portuguese. And I bought the book Apprendre le créole de Bissau ou Ziguinchor in Paris, but I have absolutely no idea where this book is right now. So I am preparing the first videos without it. I must have a weird accent. I was born and raised in France. I learned English only at school a long time ago, and I have only lived in Guinea-Bissau for 3 years now. I'm sharing my own understanding of Creole, which could sometimes be wrong. And in these cases, I'm completely open to corrections from those who know better than me. So don't hesitate to leave your remarks in the comments. I will teach you the practical conversation vocabulary you'll need if you land tomorrow in Bissau. Of course, I will explain the theory, the basics of verb tense and the grammar, but I don't want to weight down the video too much with things you won't use often. The second step is to prepare written sheets. Come back under the video in a few weeks. You'll find a link to my blog so you can download the written content. The basics being laid, subscribe, activate the bell, and let's dig into this. We begin this initiation of the Creole of Guinea-Bissau with greetings. Good morning, good afternoon, good night are said. Bon dia, boa tarde, boa noite. So the boa tarde, which literally means good afternoon, is said from 12:01. This is not a joke. Saying bon dia again afternoon, and people will have a pause or even a rejection and will correct you with a loud boa tarde or anta media ka toca ainda, which mean, well then, noon hasn't struck yet. So for you English speakers, you often use good afternoon, but us French speaking people, we say good day all day. So it's kind of difficult for us, but for you, it should be easy. When you'll be tired of being corrected in the street anyway, you will understand. So I resume. Bon dia for the morning, boa tarde between noon and sunset, and boa noite for the night. If you want to wish a good night's sleep, you will have to say bon sono, literally good sleep, sweet dreams. Right after hello comes the question, how are you? And as if to say hello, there are variations depending on the time of the day. Kumakubu mansi or kumakubu notsi. Mansi comes from sunrise and notsi comes from sunset. These two sentences therefore commonly mean, how are you? Depending on the time of the day. In the literal senses, kuma, how, kubu, that you, mansi, woke up, and kuma, how, kubu, that you, notsi, passed the afternoon. So we say, bon dia, kuma kubu mansi, or boa tarde, kuma kubu notsi. Note that to simplify, personally, I remove the pronoun bu and say kumaku mansi and kumaku notsi. This is for the case where you are addressing a single person. In case you meet a group of people, the plural of bu is bo, kumaku bo mansi and kumaku bo notsi. There are two more neutral variants that really means how are you that you can use all day long is kumakusta or simply ikuma. Before you can answer, you have to practice rolling the R's. Ra, re, ri, ro, ru. Here are the different variants to answer hello, how are you? Mansidrito, notsidrito, nstadrito. Simpler, we can say mansi bem, notsi bem, nsta bem. The n is the pronoun I. Drito, bem means good, well. I give you two bonus variants that count double. Alinli means I'm here in the sense of I'm alive. That's the most important. When you'll be comfortable enough with the sound n and ny, you can answer nanjenya. Njenya means to strive forward. Visually, imagine someone limping and trying to walk. This is how Bissau Guineans see their life. A third bonus for free. If someone asks you, Kuma di vida or Kuma di corpo, literally, how is life and how is your body? And you respond, Nakutikutik well, boom, you reach the highest level of profound Creole. Let's go for a recap. Bon dia, bon dia. Kumaku mansi, mansi drito. Obrigada, abogora. Mansi drito. Yeah. A little break on the news here. Obrigado means thank you. And when it's a woman who wishes to thank someone else, she will say obrigada. Abogora means and you. And the onomatopoeia ya signals agreement, acceptance, and here correspond to okay or great. Moving forward. Boa tarde. Boa tarde. Kumaku notsi. Notsi drito. Obrigada. Abogora. Notsi drito. Yeah. Boa noite. Boa noite. Kumaku está? Está drito. Obrigada. Abogora. Or alinli. Abogora. Está drito. Obrigado. Yeah. That's it for the first part of the greetings. We move forward. Kumakibunomi means what's your name? We will answer with Nyanomi I. Literally, my name is. Followed by the question Dibo, which mean and yours. The person will answer Dimi I so and so. For nice to meet you, we'll say prazer. And the equivalent of likewise will be igualmente. Aboidinunde means where do you come from in the sense of your origins. We will answer with Ami y Francis, English, Americana, whatever. I want to make a distinction here between the two types of diaspora concerned by this video. I call them the economic diaspora on one hand, the one that left since the 60s or the 80s, and the following generation born in Europe, and the diaspora that I call historical, on the other hand, the one that was kidnapped from the 15th century and taken to the Americas, whose descendants are now in the process of rediscovering their roots. The way the two groups will tell their origins is slightly different, and I find it important to make the distinction. Let's start with the economic diaspora. When the person asks you, Aboy di nunde, where do you come from? You will answer, I was born in such country, but my parents are Guineans. Mpadiduna, whatever country. Manya papes y Guineenses, which leads to, in my particular case, Mpadiduna França, Manya papes y Guineenses. And you will replace, if necessary, parents by grandparents or great-grandparents by nyadonas or nyatuturdonas. And if you want to talk about the ethnic origin of your parent, you will say Mpadino na França, manya papes y manjaku balanta fula. You got the point. For the historical diaspora now, when the person asks you Aboy di nunde, you will answer, I was born in such a country, but I have Balanta blood, Fula blood, Brahme blood, etc. Which leads to Mpadido na America, mantene sangue Balanta, sangue Fula, sangue Brahme. Thanks to the work of the Decade of Return coordinators, the locals are becoming more and more aware of these African American who are returning to Guinea-Bissau thanks to the DNA test. So they are beginning to understand that you are descendants of the resistance of the slave trade. We should stop calling you guys African American, by the way, but rather Balanta American, Fula Brazilian, etc. Last details. For those whose results came out Brahme, here we call these ethnic groups the Bancanis. We continue with the last question in the greetings. Where do you live? We say, Nunde kubu mora. To answer, I live in the district of Kalele, you will say, Mora na bairro Kalele. You will end up with Abogora, Nunde kubu mora, to ask the person where they live too. For goodbyes is rather simple. You will say Nabai for I'm leaving and ciao for goodbye or te logo for see you later. I resume the second part of the conversation with the different variants. Kumakibunomi, nyanomi Diana. Dibo? Dimi iwinjaba. Prazer. Igualmente. Aboy di nunde. Ami Francis. Mpadido na França, manya papes e guineenses. Mpadido na Bélgica, manya papes e pepeles. Mpadido na América, mantene sangue fula. Nunde kubu mora? Mora na kuntum. Abogora, nunde kubu mora? Mora na pluwa. Nabai. Okay, ciao. Até logo. And that's the end of this first Creole lesson, where I gave you the basics to respond to any strangers who calls you out in the street of Bissau. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, leave a comment, subscribe, like, and share to all the diaspora you know. See you soon on the Repat Bissau channel, the channel for those who want to come back.